One of the jobs that your team leader or your services manager is going to have to do on a weekly basis is have a client services meeting. And in this, I'm going to give you a template. Again, download, make it your own. I'm going to walk you through an example of how you would get your team leader involved in organizing a weekly meeting so that the whole services team is on the same page. You can see capacity, you can see what's going on in the business, you can brainstorm ideas. So really good way to get this meeting structured and make it super, super effective. So what I'll do is, here's the template you can download, make it your own, as with all of them. In the beginning, you can sit with your services team and decide how is the actual weekly status meeting going to be run. And you all agree on this, because the only way the meeting is going to be successful is if you actually have everyone on board and everyone agree that it's a productive meeting to have. And in order for that to happen, they all need to be involved in the meeting agenda. That's really important for them to do. So you would create objectives, have a general idea about what everyone's doing in the agency, any client issues that they can foresee. You could have client successes that they want to share. There could be issues, somebody stuck in a campaign that they want to report on. And you could look at reporting benchmarks. Have been any changes on what's going on? That could be done monthly. How are you going to prepare for this? It needs a team leader to drive it, or a direct report who's going to own the meeting, record the meeting, ensure if you're using DataBox that it's actually working for all the clients. Have you got a lot of data to get all the statistics, reminders to update the sheet on a weekly basis? You would actually create status goals for each of the actual clients that are in here. What are the important things? The tasks should be SMART goals, and see if that's specific, measurable, achievable, results orientated, and with a timeline. Pick the top 3 tasks that are important for the company and for their growth and success to achieve the objectives that are in line with their challenges. And before in the next meeting, you can mark each of the task fields with green and red. So this is a big overview from each of the account management documents that you're going to run for each client. You're going to pull in, okay, this week, these are the things that are important for each client. We'll walk through. And that way you can see the overall look of all the tasks that are being done for each client in one particular area. Another place that can be done as well, if you've got a project management tool, you could actually structure that. But to get going, start off with this spreadsheet. Status project. This is a really good tab to keep an overview of how the client work is going. This is very easy with retainer clients, and it can be more difficult with short projects. But there should always be an end goal in mind, and put that in. What is the end goal? Is it visitors? Is it leads? Is it SQLs? The project lead is the one responsible for filling up the updated numbers. Is it X amount of website pages? Like, what is the actual goal? And are you on track for that? And then some status for sales. You can do that. And then for the final sheet, you have critical success factors. This is a worksheet for you and your team to make sure that critical issues and tasks are being dealt with. This could be order new MacBooks for a new employee that's coming. Write a manual for how we use Slack, clean up the folder structure in Dropbox. Like, what are the things that are impacting the services team, and get ahead of them? So let's go through. You would create the agenda, you decide how it's going to run, you agree on it, and then you start to roll out this meeting. You probably would do this on a Monday, Monday late morning or early afternoon. I always ask for sales to come in for the first couple of minutes to give an update on, are there any new clients that are looking really good? Do they have any closing meetings that they need a strategist to come in? Are there any closing meetings where they need an account manager? There is nothing worse than account manager trying to plan their week and then getting these ad hoc requests. Sales should be able to predict the week in advance, maybe if not 2 weeks, and get them to note going, look, I think I have a client closing. I'd love to introduce the account manager, but they should be up over 90%. They have to be up. For you to be involved as an account manager or a strategist, they have to be a sure thing. Are there any upsell opportunities? That's for account managers to talk back. And it could be a simple thing like, hey, this campaign's been going really well for a client. I think they might want another campaign. Can I have some advice on upsell? Or maybe the salesperson needs to get involved again just to close that upsell opportunity. And have they got any upcoming events? Are they going to conferences, breakfast seminars where the services team is going to be needed? These again can come out of blind and so derail a services team. Once sales is done, get them out of the room, no need, and then start to talk about the projects. For this, you might only need a small group of people. It could be the web developers talking about a particular website project. It could be a one-off project, one-off campaigns. And whoever's involved in that, again, have them in the beginning, talk about what's going on, what are the goals for each of the client that need to be achieved this week. And once the projects are done, those people who are involved in the projects, for example, the web designers, the web developers, they can leave the client statuses meeting, the services meeting, and you can say to them, hey, will you mind be available on Slack for the next hour? We're in this room, we might have questions, but otherwise, please go back to work. You don't need to have the whole company sucked into this meeting. That's when they get unproductive. Then you can move on to each of the clients that you have. What are the KPIs and specific things? What are the next steps that need to happen this week in order for their goals, KPIs, and objectives to be met? Now, this can take some time for an account manager to prioritize, and it could be a lot of repetition in the beginning. But if you don't drill into this, and if there isn't value being seen by the client, and you can show, hey, look, we keep a track of this, we look at all of our weeks, we know what we're working on, this is what we've been doing. This is where laser focus is going to come in play. So go through all the clients, and if there's any roadblocks, if you're like the same objective and there's only one, the client might not see value in that over time. Dig in, get more opportunities. When you do your monthly reports and you do them really well, you're going to find more opportunities. And then you're going to talk about the whole services team. It could be there's a holiday coming up, Easter. What are the challenges? Oh, Easter is coming up. What are we going to do? Who's going to be working when? Any challenges that you think are going to affect the services team, look at that, find a solution. Talk about who's going to be responsible, the date assigned, the date finished, what's the next step. And then when things are addressed and done, keep a record, copy it down under the done field. These things will come up again next year. So you'll go, hey, look, this is how we handled Easter last year. Did that work? Yeah, it did. Let's do it again. So you're not reinventing the wheel. And that is the whole process that your team leader will need to do for doing a weekly client services meeting. I hope you've enjoyed this video.